Hello, this is Rita, and this is me and my mommy's podcast, and then my mommy, and there's me, and I'm just talking about this stuff, and then me tap dance, because this is a tap dance, it's a autism podcast, and there's a bunch of animals, and I'll be trying to eat my hair, and there's a bunch of sand in the ocean. Also, there's also tax stuff, and a woman makes a big. Oh, that color also old, yes, like dolphin pants, yes, oh, those them muffled. The boots are amazing. Also, this, trying not to have a pen bag. Also, there's a podcast about autism and tech dancing and blah, blah, blah. I did ADHD in this thing. Also, this cute adorable pup.
Hey, Leta, welcome to this week's Tap Tuesday, where you're like going, no, I won't use it for evil because Riverside has a new toy for you to play with.
Yes.
So if anyone sees any clips on the internet, especially on Leta's socials of her as a panda bear while doing...
I can tell myself to a bit. Well, hello, yes, people who have been on our podcast before. Do you want to come back on it to a panda with me?
Okay, so best I can tell from Riverside's email this morning, it's only clips. It's not the entirety of the podcast, but you want to mess around with turning the clips into panda bears. So, hey, so today's Tap Tuesday. Can we? You're like, I'm stuck on the email we just got from Riverside.
So I can't turn myself into a cartoon for the whole.
No, you can't for right now. I'm sure they can make that work at some point.
Riverside, please do it. I want to be a cartoon for the whole thing.
Yes.
So, one thing we are going to discuss. So what we're going to do today is we're going to discuss something very important for Tap Tuesday. I think a lot of dance studios and dance studio owners and dance teachers do not completely understand sensory issues and autism.
Oh, I was just gonna say go to the flag fabric store, take the flag fabric, and then turn it into a costume, even though it's new. They don't fabric not suitable to be in contact for long periods of time with human being skin, or else you will become itchy as hell.
So that's a sensory issue.
And it will feel like sandpaper.
So the sensory issues go gamut. Sensory issues, not just, oh, this feels bad on my skin, which is a sensory issue. It can even be the cut of a fabric that can make someone have sensory overload. It can be the fact that you've got nylon thread holding on the sequence. It can be where the sequence is placed in a costume.
It could be that the person kept forcing you to put stuff over your belly button, and you just like what's the term?
That's a sensory issue too.
Yeah.
You do not like showing your midriff. That's a sensory issue. It's not just an image.
Wait, what now? Wait, when did
okay.
we bring up the showing of the midway?
Well, you said your costume being high up, so I assume that was your tank tops.
No, I said
crop tops?
forcing things to be on my...
No, I meant forcing me.
Here.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a huge...
My stomach feels like it's being pressured and too tight, and what's the word? Is it
let me fix my camera.
Is it bloated? Is that the word?
Yeah, that's bloated. But that is a sensory issue. Having where you like wearing those waistbands.
Then it feels like I can't breathe, and then I do stop breathing. So they want to fade a child. They succeeded. Because I have actually almost fainted before on that one. Like, that literally happened. Literally.
But that's where I think a lot of the dance studios, and that's one of the things I'm hoping our podcast can help the dance studio owners, dance teachers, and neurotypical parents trying to deal with their neurodivergent kids. Sensory issues can even be where your waistline is on a costume. And when you're dealing with the sensory issue, you're not thinking about your choreography. You're not thinking about that next step. And I know a lot of times the statement is, hey, you just have to get over it. It's just for this one piece. Yeah, but did you want me thinking about where my waistline is? and how odd and uncomfortable that feels? Or would you like me putting forth the best effort I can on the choreography, right, Leta?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do today is we are going to go over your top 5 most hated recital costumes of all times. And since it's recital season, this is kind of something that's probably a little bit more relevant come August, September when everyone's figuring it out. But, this is something a lot of kids across the country are dealing with right now is the sensory issues
What do you
with
mean
their
right now?
No.
It's 24/7.
Yeah, but I mean, specifically right now with taking recital costumes, putting them on stage, because it is recital season.
Oh, yeah. For anybody who has to go through that, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry. Doesn't even. I feel. I don't.
Let's be
I'm
honest.
just sorry you have to live.
Outside of your number 1 costume on this list, most of these costumes are not, if you don't have sensory issues, like they're not terrible looking costumes. They're not like,
Except the one that was too small for me.
but if it wasn't too small for you, that one it looked great on stage on everyone else, correct?
Yes, on everyone else.
Maybe listen to mommy that the kiddo's going to grow in May or in April, May. It seems to be your grow time.
Actually, I'm pretty sure all these costumes like terrible on me. I'm bad at pictures. Let's just admit that I'm bad at.
You're not bad at pictures. Please see
Did
last
you
week's.
not see my neck being scrunched?
Please see last week's.
What do you mean?
See last week's imposter syndrome episode where you swore you don't have imposter syndrome while saying you're bad at dance.
Like
Can we get back to the important part here?
Okay.
These costumes, as they are, most neurotypical kids, actually, outside of them being too small for you, which I think would annoy a neurotypical child, most neurotypical kids aren't going to have a problem with these costumes. And a lot of autistic kids, because autism is so different, each kid is going to have their own sensory issues. But let's get into the fun. So this is your number 5 on the list. This was hip hop in 2021, I believe. What was your biggest issue with this costume?
Pants. And the jacket was like way too tight. But pants.
Okay, can you elaborate on the pants?
Pants are evil.
Is there a particular reason? Because pants are evil. I mean, if people know you are wearing shorts in the middle of blizzards around here because you absolutely positively cannot handle pants. What?
They feel weird between my legs. It feels like somebody's literally taking their hand and squeezing my kneecaps.
You have worn pants that aren't too, like, that normal people would not think are too tight. And then,
Then they're too tight around my waist seats.
okay. And I'm going to regret asking this. Is there any way you can explain? Because this is just for people who aren't watching on YouTube, but are listening. It is literally just normal legging type. Well, it wasn't quite legging material, was it, for these pants? But just normal jazzish type pants for the hip hop deal, a loose blue shirt, and a normal, more like silky feel jacket.
Me?
So what about it being over your waist was a problem?
My tummy like somebody took a rope, decided to do it like a horse, and then just kept pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and wouldn't stop.
You've also
and I felt like my lungs had no air, and my lungs no air.
You also mentioned, and this is with every pair of pants you wear, even if you could put your ankle all the way up to your butt in the pants, you feel like the knees in the pants are too tight, don't you?
Yeah.
Can you describe, in your own words, what you feel when there's something around your knees?
Like, A, something's bothering me, or be like something's like squeezing my knees into oblivion.
Even if the pants are not tight, do you feel like something's squeezing your knee into oblivion?
Yeah.
Like you wear boot cut jeans when you're doing tap. Does it feel like the looser your jeans are, does it feel a little bit better or a little bit worse?
Yeah. Worse. Because then it feels weird when I bend my legs because it'll feel like there's a bunch of loose skinnies, but it isn't skinnies, but it feels like that, but it doesn't feel like skinnies, it just feels like loose stuff between my knees.
And the sensory issue there, and this is where I don't think a lot of, and we're going to pull back from this, I don't think a lot of dance teachers and dance studio owners and even neurotypical parents understand what you were just saying. The fact that it bunches up.
Well, I know they don't understand the things that I was saying because most teachers ask me, and all of them go, "You don't have that effing problem," and me going, "I do have that effing problem now."
I think that is a
Oh,
problem because
yeah.
I've tried to explain to your dance teachers and dance studio owners, even the ones who on the surface are pretty sure they understand it. Come recital time. Yeah, I love that look. Come recital time, they almost without a doubt, or when the costumes arrive and they're like, here's her costume. And I'm like, you do understand. You just checked off almost every single one of her sensory issues. You'll do it. You'll suffer through it, but you're suffering while you're in that costume, are you not?
Yes. Well, then I'm trying not to faint. Well, then I'm trying not to cry.
But a lot of this stuff, I don't think, because I think a lot of people don't see that bunching up of the fabric behind the knee is a sensory issue. They're like, well, that shouldn't be an issue to Leta. That's just how pants are. And I'm like, that's a sensory issue. We have picked and chosen our battles with your autism.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with that one. Thank you very much.
Wait,
There are
what's
other issues.
time frame when you did deal with it?
We tried for a little bit just to see if it was
It
possible.
was a funny battle. That was funny.
Well,
Because
part
it
of it
means you were both miserable.
both were, and it was
You were
not.
trying to keep a child from not crying to get played with
Let's
us.
explain. At that point in time, I couldn't tell that it was a sensory issue for you. Are we talking about when you were a lot younger?
Well, that then when I was 11.
Okay. In case you're wondering, negative degree temperatures. Sorry, honey, but negative degree temperatures, sometimes you have to maybe deal with the sensory issue for 5 seconds.
Figure out the way to make it where you just cut off the leg portion of it and make them like socks.
Okay.
That would be funny.
Can we go check and see what he's doing
Yeah.
real quick? I want to go up. We had to go grab a puppy for those watching on YouTube to keep him from being and getting into stuff upstairs. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one because this one's another one that if you on the surface look at this one, it looks perfectly fine. If you ask you, it doesn't perfectly.
Which one's that?
And it's the jazz one. You should have it on your screen now. Can you explain what your problem with this one was? Yeah. Oh, so what was your problem with this one?
Everything. Also, plus I had to wear tights, and tights are just evil. They're just evil.
Okay, so
plus that skirt is literally where again I just don't like saying touching going where my belly button is, and that skirt stops where my belly button was. So I was trying not to faint while stopping breathing because I don't know why. It's because of where my belly button is. It's breathing.
oh no, I mean that's one of the things we want to discuss today is that problem of you do have an issue once it goes to your belly button. I think it's like once it goes.
Stop breathing. Oh,
as much as I'd like you to wear stuff at your hip, that's a little too close to your belly button for you. No, sometimes it's like, honey, it might fit, not fall down. Sometimes if you wear it close to your hip, off. But no, can we get back to the tights here? Can you, in detail, explain the
Let's
tight issue?
see.
Because you,
Tights are just pants, but tighter.
Jackie Poo, Jack, come lay down. Come. Lay down. He's just being a Jackie Poo today, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Can you kind of, I mean, I have not met yet anyone who is autistic who can handle pants.
Okay, tell me one single animal on this earth as a one time before we invented machines that human beings ever wore pants.
But this one is
That's
like
umbrella.
so. This one is so freaking universal. And it seems to also go with leggings too.
I'm confused how you wear pants.
I prefer pants to a lot of other things. But notice I only wear jeans. I cannot handle dress slacks. I really can't. And I don't like leggings at all. I mean, I tried it the last time I was in tap class because you needed leggings and all this for it. But honest to God, you've noticed I even teach tap in my jeans, Leta. But I like a pair of well-worn jeans that are breaking apart. Once they're well-worn and they're pure cotton, I'm good with it. How are you doing over there? Okay. I know it's really tiny on this one. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can expand. Oh, there. You're right. I didn't zoom in for you.
So,
Okay.
we learned stuff. It's called the zoom in feature.
Okay. Let's discuss this top. Because most people would look at this top like they would have looked at the skirt and gone, there is nothing wrong with this skirt. What could be a problem with the sensory issue on this skirt? Because your tights should have been above your skirt. So you shouldn't have felt the material for the skirt at all.
And they were, and I couldn't breathe.
But let's discuss the top, because you also had a problem with the top.
The top? If it those strips, it would have been fine, but those strips were literally leaving a mark in my skin. Again, these costumes were too small. Those straps were literally leaving red ass marks in my skin. It was nearly as red as my blood.
Okay, so that brings me to another thing that's kind of off topic here. But I had tried to warn your dance studios, more than one, that you grow like by inches every year when you grow. And they're like, oh no, we know how kids grow.
I don't grow that many inches every time I grow.
You do. You really do.
I grow that many inches. I'm just a little above your eyebrow now.
Yes. Okay. So, but with someone like you, they're like, well, if it's just a little snug, she can live with it. You can't live with a little snug, can you? You were sitting there constantly focusing on that little snug.
It wasn't little because I've dealt with a little snug before. That was not little. That was hello who put me in a peanut shell. Because last time I checked, I'm not the size of a peanut.
Okay, let's talk about those ruffles on that shoulder. What do you think?
I liked playing with them. They were fun to play with.
You're like, thank you for the fidget toy on my costume.
Yes. Pretty feet.
A bunch of people were complaining about that, and I'm like, you gave her a fidget toy. What did you expect from her?
I mean, they're the ones who decided,
You're like, what'd you expect?
Fidget toy.
They did. They put a fidget toy on there for you. See, you aren't necessarily a huge fan of sequins.
Sequins was just evil overall.
I am not disagreeing with you.
I got paper cuts.
I absolutely used to hate the fact that I could feel the thread from each one of those pieces of sequins that was on my costumes, and it'd be like a torture device.
I just hated that some of the sequins was on the inside of the costume where my chest is.
I mean, that was my thing is back then, like all of it was like that. And we didn't get to wear those nude leotards that you can wear in a lot of, because I think the nude leotards, to a point, because you cannot wear leotards. I get
I
it.
just question why we were wearing nude tights and my tights were not right color at all. I don't know
They
how.
don't make tights for your color,
Yeah,
Lita.
I mean, they don't. The white tights. I'm sure I can go pass off as normal level white tights. I mean, those were brown tights, right?
Were
Right?
tan tights that were
Right?
supposed to
I'm
work for all of you.
not
And I mean,
tan. I'm not
can you go check on
tan.
him?
Yes. I'm not tan. Last time I checked, children are allowed to get a tan.
Yeah, let's go check on the Jack. Because I just messed up really badly. Anywho's, because I had a microphone mishap. And then stupidly did it one way. Part 2. No, those tights were not, but they were uniform with everyone else, and everyone else is not thank you. Yeah. All right, and I am going to get this because number 3 is
Right.
coming up.
Why did
Number
it?
3, right?
Why
Yeah.
could they get away with tan
And this
tights?
is not
I couldn't.
dissing whoever picked out
Them
these
the
costumes, because
tights
these
didn't look
costumes
that
did look
unnatural
great
at all.
on
Me, it looked
stage.
like
The thing is, most of your teachers,
did only half of her go into?
okay, not number 1. Number 1 you can go off
They
on.
only half.
But the rest of these, Lita, they did look good. The thing is, you were having sensory overload the whole time you were wearing them. And if you're having sensory overload, 1, you're never going to think you look good. That is called dance. Dance absolutely cannot get away from, oh, but we've done this forever, because jazz is usually done in tan tights.
I was just still
And
questioning
therefore
those
we do
tan tights
jazz
because
in tan tights, because
costume looked
dance
good. It was
isn't
just a
innovative.
tan
And I think
tights. Tan tights. Tan to tan. I remember.
no, but think about it. I mean, dance is so not innovative that a lot of girls that are not white who are older are still having issues with the fact that you can now wear point shoes that are the color of your
I'm just
skin or
gonna
closer to
say
the
it,
color of your
like,
skin. And it's like, but this is not how it's done. And it's because they
So
have
it's
been
pale girl being
drilled
pale.
into them that we follow tradition and dance. But that's what's going to kill dance in the long run, is it's so tradition based outside of dance comps, which is also going to kill dance. That's a whole different deal. But you are so tradition based, you are so rooted in tradition that you can't change with something as simple as a sensory. Yeah, but a lot of the cultural dances are different. Let's go on to your next one, because this one is another one that was a great costume, just not for you. It looked great on stage. The sparkly tights there.
I was just thinking that's
sparkly
what's
leggings,
gonna kill the
pants.
non-cultural
So
dances.
let's go over what
Yeah.
your problems were with this costume.
Yeah. Let's get on with yeah. Yeah. Those aren't tights. They're pants. Yeah.
That's a sensory issue right there, Lita.
Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't the only one who had a problem because
Neurotypical people can technically have sensory issues.
really stiff.
I love that look you're giving me.
Stiff
They just don't
could be,
have them at
like-
the same rate that
Like
autistic
stiff,
and
like
neurodivergent
stiff,
people have it.
like
Keep
like
going.
stat on the stiff. Yeah. Well, I wasn't the only one who had that sensory issue.
But I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Also, the jacket
But
was kind of evil
so
too,
what
because
about
no matter how many
what about the
different
applique on that
things
costume?
you could try with that jacket, it went unstiffened.
There's
And
another one where you're like, thank you for the built-in fidget toy.
fabric for flags and went. I forgot to say costume, didn't I? I just said stream, didn't I? We can edit stuff out, right?
It was.
Oh,
But I
fidget
go
toy.
back to we should have an entire sensory issue.
Oh, that's a plus. I didn't really. That's a plus. I didn't really like that hat because it was like super tight. It felt like it was killing my hair.
Okay,
It was kind of killing my hair though.
let's dive into that just real quick. You feel because I have the same sensory issue because people are like,
Oh, and you could zip all the way up to your neck, and yeah, damn.
or
just
turtlenecks.
try to get over it. It's not happening. It's not happening. I like not choking. I like not choking.
Like I have had people get mad
I
at me
don't know
because
why
I
some
can't wear
people wear
turtlenecks, and I'm like,
chokers,
I
like,
feel
if
like
you-
I
if
am
you
choking,
want
and they're like, no,
choking,
you can't feel that
try
way, and it's
to
like,
access going
if something is
painfully.
touching my neck, I am going to feel like I am choking the
Okay,
entire
let's
day,
just
and I'm
be
going to be
honest.
tugging at it, and you don't
Those
want
ones
that.
just look weird, and B, those ones just look weird unless it's Velma.
Yeah, so like you were saying, this came up really close. Well, it came up to your neck, and you had that collar right around your neck the whole time instead of being loose. I mean, I'll wear collared shirts, I'll wear pearl snaps. Do not expect me to snap the top 2 buttons on a pearl snap because even the second to top, I mean, ugh,
Apparently,
I'm going to be dying if I snap this button. I prefer V-necks or low crew necks, not too low, but you know what I'm talking about there. Like, I don't like the collar way up here. Like what you're wearing right now with your Nike. Yeah, well, mine's as low as I could find for these crew tops I needed. Yeah, but that's the thing is it is just below where I would go crazy. Literally, if it was a little higher, I could not wear this shirt.
Yeah, like if I was wearing that,
But no,
like,
that's the thing.
I would still not be able to breathe. I don't know why that one just.
That's the thing
confuses
that
me
I don't
because,
think a
like,
lot
if
of dance teachers
like,
understand
right,
is
yeah,
this looked
I
great
just, like,
on
start
stage.
dying.
You were in sensory overload the whole time you were dealing with this because you had that all the way up here. It is going to choke you as far as your brain is concerned.
Dance industry isn't the only place not made for autistic.
But that's the thing. I don't think they understand that your brain said it is choking me because I don't think they understand that part. Is that sensory issue? Is that your brain is inputting something totally different
No,
than what the
chokes me.
neurotypical world's
Still actually
brain would be
choked me.
inputting? Does that
Really
make any
did
sense at all?
start gagging.
So for
I
you,
almost
because
threw
that
up.
collar was up so high, your brain inputted, I am choking. Does that make any sense, Leta? Can you maybe? But like you said, you're sitting there still focused on panda bear stuff, aren't you? But I go back to, again, the fact that to you, this was nothing short of a torture device.
I was focusing. I was ADHD in life. I was focusing.
But that's the thing. I don't think because
Cartoon.
how do I put this nicely? A lot of dance teachers aren't thinking of the sensory issues around the neck. They're thinking it's okay if it's high cut because it's not going to cause Leta sensory issues where it does
He
actually
just
cause you
torture
sensory issues. And for
devices.
those listening on the podcast, I forgot
would
we should
probably
possibly
use.
discuss this. It is a jacket that's a zipped up jacket with a high collar there. that is zipped up all the way to your neckline, which is what's causing the issue there. Having issues with your hair? Been there, done that, but the t-shirt. It can even be your own hair that can drive you buggers. Okay, so back to, and that hat, it's just a baseball cap, which a lot of people are like, it's okay, it's a baseball cap.
My
It
hair's
doesn't matter how
scratchy.
tight it is.
My hair's
And you're
scratchy at the
sitting there
bottom.
going, no,
yeah,
it does
yeah,
actually
yeah,
matter how
yeah,
tight that
yeah,
hat is.
yeah. Yes, and I am never.
And then applique came up and off the jacket. Like it was attached to the jacket around the zipper, and then it started being where it wasn't completely laid down and attached to the jacket, correct? Which made an absolute perfect fidget toy. And that's what I also don't think some dance teachers and dance studio owners don't understand is fidgeting is it is a part of stimming. Stimming involves fidgeting. Fidgeting is what,
It was
normal
kind of
people do.
seems to
Stimming
be-
is what autistic people do. And you are already having severe sensory overload. So you're going to stim by fidgeting with your applique and try to calm down over the fact that they're trying to kill you, right, Leta? You're nodding while you're playing with your hair. This is going great. All right, we are going to go on to the next one. This is number 2. Once more, it is a beautiful. It is a little bit on the fuzzy side because, yeah, mom was messing with a new camera and was not perfect on this, but we're going to pull this up. Here's the thing. This is another one that's beautiful. I'll probably put in a different one. But what was the number one thing you were complaining about on this one?
I
Okay,
just
so
look weird in that one.
because you were 9 when you were wearing this
It
costume.
was so itchy. Also, plus our teacher kept telling all of
What
us
about
say
that
more
neckline right
salads
there?
and that we should also think about going on it.
It was a fidget toy, but you also had the straps.
I mean, already felt bad enough in the costume. I mean, already felt bad enough. Or you were already making us feel bad enough. Person, you were already making us all feel bad enough. Yeah,
It did. See, and that's another autism thing right there. This isn't just sensory, Dill. Your low cut right there with those sleeves hanging off. It was a beautiful costume. Your response is that should have been on a teenager or an adult.
Tell me that look
That is a
great.
kid's costume, not a teenager costume there, Leta.
Tell me that looks a 9-year-old child.
But that was what I was talking about. Is that cut? Okay, so for those who are listening on the podcast, it is a romantic tutu. You can't tell on YouTube, I don't think, because of how I'm putting this up.
These people want to
But
tell me
the
sometimes it's my fault.
neckline, it's an
I
off-the-shoulder
did a
piece
creep
or
Yes,
leotard
that-
piece,
that-
costume,
that-
whatever you want to
that
call it,
creepy
and it cut
costume.
fairly low
that
across
wasn't
your
my
chest
choice.
at 9. It was not up high, so at least it wasn't that. But I was wanting to put body tape on it to make sure it didn't fall. Unfortunately, that wouldn't work with the leotard you were wearing underneath it for the actual show. That's a sensory issue, though.
Yeah. Also, plus that one I wasn't really focusing No,
But
like
let's
texture
that
of
in
the
a way that
costume.
is a sensory issue because you
Kissing
need
on
it to not be
creeped
so low
out,
cut
I
that you're
felt.
worried about exposing
Also, before
yourself while you're on
anyone
stage.
thinks it, another girl picked, another adult woman picked out this
We're not
costume
Sabrina
for a bunch of
Carpenter dancing on stage.
9-year-old and a bunch
You
of
were
8-year-old
9, you were not
children
Sabrina Carpenter
before
in
you
her
thought
current tour.
anything. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That unfortunately is the dance culture we still have. And then dance teachers are like, but why do parents not want their kids involved? Because you're giving them body issues. And that's another discussion.
We
All
had
righty.
memories. Also, plus, I find it weird to tell a bunch of 8-year-olds
This is
and
not
a
the best picture because
9-year-olds
it's
to
one
leave
I
more
took like
salads
just
and call them
outside. We are
things.
going to get to your least favorite
That's
costume of
just
all time.
nuts.
Absolute
Yeah,
least favorite costume
yeah.
of all freaking times.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here you go, Lita.
yeah, some.
So the neck has a choker neck. Like it's got a Thule overlay. Yeah, podcast. It's got a choker that cut buttons right in the back
Let's
of
see.
your
Hey,
neckline.
the
And then
next
it's got
thing.
loose fabric that's
Okay,
very
so
nice, very flowy,
people,
covering up
yeah,
a
so
leotard that is
yeah.
sequenced all the way around the leotard, including in the groin area.
Oh yeah, podcast. Yeah. That one was hard.
It cut really low.
Yeah.
You were one of the younger kids in this, so for the there were other younger kids,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But
Plus
the
that,
older kids had
I
how to put this
know
nicely,
there's a new
something
leotard,
to
but
help
that
pull that up just a little
that
bit
could
because they had
still
developed on the
just
top region. You had not developed on the top region
weird.
yet, so this laid flat when it's
No.
meant not to lay flat.
No.
This design is not for a
Yeah,
lay
but
flat top.
I just kind of felt weird because there
You're
was
giving me a
baby
look. I'm trying really nice
wearing
to.
that.
Would you like to just laugh into your microphone for me? I mean, the way you're laughing. It is like flat top. It is meant to have something in front of you as a woman. This one is meant for girls who have already gone through puberty. You could see it in the design. It was designed for an older, more mature, no, that was bad designs by obviously a guy who does not care about rubbing up stuff or other people. That sequence should have stopped where you couldn't see, because the bottom of the skirt, you could not see the sequence in the crotch area from stage or from anywhere, because that skirt doesn't flow up enough where you needed to keep that sequence flowing the entire way around. It was just a way to probably add more money to the costume in the long run. Full sequence body is going to cost more than cutting that off where at that waistline where you could no longer see anything. Not like you could really see the sequence. It was just a little still sequence. In fact, I probably would have only done sequencing right there where you could see it in the fabric. But hey, that's where I would have gone with that. But yeah, it's another one of those. It's between the collared neck and you've got two pieces of fabric flowing over you, and then the leotard starts fairly lower down because it's supposed to have a little bit more fabric there than it's going to have in that lay flat. Doesn't body type. Yeah, let's. Well, let's discuss the other thing that we've kind of flitted around. You are not a fan with leotards, period. I mean, if if anyone's listened to our podcast, you don't do leotards.
Yeah. Also, plus I also had the thing not designed for that by the time, and that was just weird. Cause Yeah, I do the sports.
The-
Yeah. Yes. Gonna say this one. Oh, you still
so
like me
because
for
even
me. Cause yeah, apparently
even
everyone
the people on YouTube aren't
universally
going to see this.
does it like
That
sequence
costume where
scratching
that
of their
skirt is definitely covering it up,
scratching
where you cannot see the sequence at
up
all.
against the skin in
At
the
the
private area.
bottom here,
Apparently
and I'm going to try
everyone doesn't like
nicely do
that, and
this because I'm bringing up a little bit closer
I tease
in
people in my
image
head.
of
I did tease
the
people in real life
neckline
because
real
that would
quick.
be mean. I
I
tease
mean, it
people in my
doesn't
hand now.
cover that high up. You can definitely tell. But the problem was that sequence goes all the way down through the legs, and at the chest area, they kindly put some bias tape so that it wouldn't scratch right there on your chest. That bias tape was not on the bottom of that leotard. And that sequence was hanging off the side of the leotard, was it not? You are nodding. So that sequence was right in that groin region, hanging half on, half off. And the way they had it done, because I looked to see if I could take some off without totally messing it up. If you took one sequence off, you were going to came in, it would have unraveled the entire thing the way they sewed it all together. But that was not, I mean, that in and of itself was not good, was it? And how do I put this nicely? But this was like,
Yeah.
you will never forget how bad this costume was, will you?
It was pure evil. Also, plus a question like the color was red, since the red didn't really go with the theme of the music.
I mean, but
yes, I'm crazy.
it didn't. But that's another
No, I will also
podcast
never
for another day.
forget how much I questioned
Dear dance
the red,
teachers,
because yes, people
I know you
are
love
crazy. I think
picking out
certain colors
costumes by
go
just
with
picking out
certain
costumes,
moods of certain
but
music, and the red did
you're-
not go with the mood of this music. It didn't.
Well, but I mean, so
Didn't.
what we could do a whole thing on that one. But okay. Yeah. I mean, dance teachers are amazing, choreographers are amazing. Maybe lean on your
Maybe think of the
costume
mood of the
directors if
music
you've got one, because they may
maybe
have
think
color theory.
I could do a whole thing about my version of color theory. Yeah,
and we're bunny trailing here, but
trust me,
you went to one.
I've been to studios with costume directors.
We are bunny trailing,
and
but you went to
the
one studio where the costume director flat out told one of your teachers,
music, and I need to change
no.
something so it goes more
And the
with
teacher went,
the
why?
mood
And the costume
mood
director
of
went,
the
this
music.
costume, either
They
you can
actually
change
think
the
about the
piece or you
mood
can change
of
the
the
costume.
music
You have
and
a
the
choice.
color that goes with
But
the
since you've
mood
already
of
choreographed
the
the piece,
music.
may I suggest we just, and started
Oh, yeah.
teaching the piece, may I suggest we just change the costume on you? And that one, as much as you hated the costumes from that studio, because that studio made a couple appearances on this list, you have to admit, most of the time those costumes fit the piece. You're over there saying, because you're braiding your hair real quick. But those costumes did fit the piece. So for you, they were sensory overload. They were sensory overload. They were torture devices. They were terrible things. But in the long run, on stage, they worked for the piece. and the costume director, the wardrobe mistresses did amazing keeping the choreographers on in check. Because yeah, there have been places that I have gone, even in competition, I'm like, did you think this through? Next week, I want to do your top 5 favorite costumes of all times. And that includes costumes you have done for video shoots you have done where you've been able to pick out your costumes. How does that sound? You just says, woo. All right. This week and Friday, we have Jennifer Briggs coming back on the podcast. She is the author of Watching Sarah Rise. She has been on the program before. She's coming on to discuss the Sunrise program, which is a program that does in-home therapy that's run by the parents and a bunch of volunteers coming in to help you with your autistic child and just trying to reach the level 2, level 3, because it is definitely for level 2, level 3, though I think it could work for level 1. They have had some amazing results with training parents also how to deal with their neurodivergent child. It's a great one. Jenny is always an amazing guest. We had a great conversation, I think, and we will see everyone later. For those of you going into the last days of your competition seasons and to recitals, see, what I'm hearing is, if you're watching on YouTube, comment down below what your worst sensory issue costume was.
Costumes. And if any
Okay, go ahead.
uncomfortably costumes, I'm sorry, and I think you need to what he tried to say. Just what I would say that.
And if you're listening on your favorite podcast deal, you can hit text us and drop us some fan mail to tell us about your most annoying dance costume. We will see everyone on Friday. Have a good week.
I just need confirmation that I'm not the only one creeped out by a few of the cats on me when I was younger.
Hello, thank you for watching the podcast. Please subscribe and also look at the adorable babies. You have to also subscribe for it and also please comment. And don't forget, if you subscribe to us, if you are within of our new podcast, and also be the adorable babies. Don't you like it?